Hey everyone, David Nuno here for TexAgs Rewind. Billy Liucci with us. It was a day with breaking news out there. Jo Evans will not be retained. Her contract will not be renewed with Texas A&M, so that opens the door for Ross Bjork to do another national search. We've seen it before, Billy. He goes after some big fishes.
Yeah, no question. And Ross does, Texas A&M does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, the difference is you and I can't close the deals, but if either one of us were the AD, we'd be going after big fishes too because of what A&M will allow and what A&M can attract. Now, the key, and I think Ross is with what we saw with Slosh, Joni Taylor, I think you're going to see him execute swiftly. I think you're going to see him do a hell of a job here. I think he's very good at closing the deal on big-time hires. So, again, the first step is what will A&M allow an AD to do. The second step is having a good AD that can go identify the right target, and that's another big part of it as well. Identify the right target. A lot of great coaches. You got to see who's at the right point in their career, who's the fit at Texas A&M, who can recruit the best here, because all these elite coaches can recruit, and so all of that goes into it, and then. So A&M says go hire who you can get. You know, A&M says go hire. You want Buzz Williams? We'll allow you to get him. You want to go get the best baseball coach in the country? Go get him. You want to get, Jimbo Fisher? Here, that's Scott Woodward saying I can get Jimbo Fisher. I need you guys to allow me to do that. Yes, you can. So I think that's going to be the case in softball. I think Ross is going to find the perfect fit and make the perfect hire.
As a reminder, this is brought to you by T-Mobile. They want you to visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to learn how you get value and coverage through T-Mobile. On the show, we talked about Jo Evans. We had Tom Hart on the whole saga with Jimbo versus Saban. We talked to him. Schloss was on the show as well. We discussed clinching the SEC West, but also looking ahead here at the SEC tournament and the Go Hour. Who brought the heat this past weekend? Well, Dylan Rock brought the heat. A lot of others did as well. It's TexAgs Rewind. Let's talk about who brought the heat this weekend. I'll let you go first, OB.
Okay. I'm going to avoid what I think is the low-hanging fruit, and I'm going to say Joseph Menifee.
Okay.
Did get the win on Thursday.
Yep.
But
he was huge on Saturday.
But, yeah, Saturday he comes in. They bring him in with a 3-2 count, and he gets the strikeout. Then he throws probably the only bad pitch he threw the whole game, and it's a home run. He comes back and strikes out the next guy, and then just puts up zeros for the next, 3 innings?
Yeah.
And that was at a time when A&M was reeling just a little bit. After that, it's 5-2. Then they come back and tie it, and then they take the lead, and Menifee just keeps he pitches so well against a powerful lineup. And he keeps them off the scoreboard. And the wind was blowing out, all those things. I don't know at that time, even with the score being 11, or maybe it was 9-5. You're thinking, okay, Ole Miss definitely has the ability to come back. They scored 14 runs the day before, but Menifee maybe I should even say just the relief pitching.
Relief pitching was huge. Yeah,
Palish pitched well, was great, and Johnson. So, but Menifee going in there and in that situation, I thought he pitched really well.
So a couple numbers for you. Over the weekend, Moo pitched over 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, and obviously was huge in relief. Jacob Palish, 3 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts over the weekend. So obviously the relief pitching was great. I'll go to the low-hanging fruit and kind of work my way through some of the other guys. Dylan Rock, 3 homers versus Ole Miss, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Sunday, 6 RBI, hit a triple, 5 hits, 385 batting average over the weekend. And as we told you, he leads the team in home runs, 16. I guess that's kind of a good weekend and a good season, I guess. Like, if you like greatness.
He has been great, right?
He's been great.
My wife says he's handsome. That's what my wife said the other day. She was watching the game with me, and she said, "Oh, that guy's handsome." And I said, "You know what really looks good? That ball sailing over the fence. That's what looks good to me."
That looks great. How about Ryan Targach over the weekend? Batted .333. One more on Sunday, but he has runs in 3 games, 5 RBI for the weekend. A big weekend for Ryan Targach. Brett Minnick, obviously the grand slam, 4 hits over the weekend, so he was huge. And again, you can do this Most weekends we have 2, 3, 4 guys we can go through and say, this guy did this and this guy did that. Just, I mean, one of those guys, just say Brett Minnick.
Yeah.
Like, one of those guys had they all had great weekends.
Yeah, and it doesn't, the thing about this team is it doesn't have to be Dylan Rock.
Right.
It can be Brett Minnick. It can be Jack Moss, and has been, right?
It has been many times, yes.
It can be Ryan Targac. Has been. It has been. He's not. He has been.
It has been,
still is.
and it will be.
Yeah.
So the plan is still to pitch him there in Hoover.
I mean, in a perfect world, it's not that big of a deal in terms of it's something you have to deal with, right? I think in a perfect world, if we had a pitching staff that could maybe back him up a few days, even deeper into this tournament, maybe we would, and maybe we'll get a performance from somebody we weren't expecting that allow us to kick him back a little bit. Because I do believe, winning the SEC West, I know we're still fighting, as I always believe, you're always on the bubble of something, unless you're Tennessee. So you're always on the bubble of something. Within reason, we're going to play to win this tournament. But we've also put ourselves in a position. The ultimate goal is to be in Omaha. And as much as I want to win any championship there is to win, we also have to be in a position to win a regional. And as you guys know, given our situation, Nathan Detmer has to be at 100%, whether we are playing at home or not, for us to have a chance to keep playing in the NCAA tournament. So that'll take precedent in any decision that I make.
Have you ever been part of a weekend where Dylan Rock or somebody like Dylan Rock played the villain better in an opposing ballpark?
Yeah, I've had some situations like that before, but I think anytime you go to Texas and you're trying to win a super regional, you're the villain. But I've been a part of that, but never just particularly one person, especially in a big environment like that. It was pretty unique, but he handled it really well. It was fun to watch.
And just lastly, as you look back at the regular season and the job that Michael Early's done, you have a chance to promote him for National Assistant Coach of the Year. Why should he win it?
Well, you just look at what he's been able to do. I think every single player on our team is better than what they were this time last year. You just look for continual improvement. And, Michael's a huge part of that. Nolan Kane also helped with our hitters. You got all the analytics guys. I think our offense, just as a whole, one of my big things is you play for each other. So I think the system that we've run helps everybody. But, Michael certainly is at the lead of that. And even a guy like Cole Kaler, who I don't think his batting average is right now, obviously what it was in Hawaii, which some of that is the competition. But he's a better pure offensive player just by getting on base. So Michael's done an unbelievable job. He's got a great feel. He creates great relationships. Obviously, he's intelligent. He's a superstar in this business, and hopefully the rules will change. We'll do everything we can to keep him here. Hopefully the rules will change pretty quickly, where they add more coaches to baseball, and we can make him an Aggie for a long time. I know he loves it here, but that's part of when the team goals are met. Individual goal. Individuals get the sun shines on you. So we'll be fine. Michael's going to be here for a long time, I hope.
He was the one bragging at July 20th of last year that Bryce Young was making $20 million, or not 20 million, 7 figures, $2 million, whatever it was. His guys are already making those kind of dollars. No one, other than Bro Bible, where's the $1 million deals that A&M apparently has given their recruits? And that's why I felt that it was a slap at Jimbo and the entire program. So, but again, who knows what's in his mind if he was having a senior moment or if this was a legit, hey, wake up. But it did. So I want to go through your events on how that all happened from Wednesday through Thursday, how that all kind of unfolded in your timeline.
Well, I would say this. it doesn't have to be reality for him to use it as a motivation.
Gotcha.
Or, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be fact. He's proven that multiple times. The slights that he uses that were either uttered or contrived but not spoken in public are in the hundreds, if not thousands. I mean, he doesn't let facts get in the way when he's sending a message, and most of those messages are to his own base, to his own people, whether that be boosters, administrators, players, coaches. I was fascinated. You asked about the timeline. I was fascinated about a couple of things. I guess Jimbo felt he had to respond because he felt disrespected. But at the same time, in my opinion, when you respond to something like that, now I'm not saying you just roll over and take it, but what you do is you give it more life and you give it more publicity and you extend the shelf life of the story. And so that's the decision you have to make if you're going to have a press conference to answer, which I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but that then became the mushroom cloud, right? I mean, Saban's comments were what they were, and they got run the day after. But I think and once again, I'm not saying he should have. I'm not judging, Jimbo's motivation or right to respond. But it sure was interesting. I thought that he constantly referenced, talk to the people who've coached for him, talk to people that have been on his staff. Because anything that you hear about Alabama comes from those people. It is evident, and I'm not sharing anything that is not already known or understood, that if you compare, say, the work environment at Alabama with the work environment at Clemson, where everything is about family and people stay there forever, you have two opposite ends of the spectrum. Working for Nick Saban and working at Alabama is taking the high-stress job in the law firm that's going to get you as much money, but then you're either going to make partner or you're going to leave and go somewhere else and use that money elsewhere. It's not necessarily someplace that you're going to, have a fish fry every Friday night and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
I'll give you a few moments to respond to Aggie softball not renewing Joe Evans and potentially where they go next.
Yeah, not surprising at all. I think everybody associated with it knew that was coming, and I think that would have happened even with a monumental upset of Oklahoma, which they almost did on was it Friday, or Saturday, but certainly didn't come close to doing on Sunday. I think OU said 3-2 is a little close for comfort. Let us remind you guys how good we are, but an unfortunate way to go out. I hated to see that for her, but got the big win. Was it 1,300 the night before? Had some nice moments this year. That series wins over Arkansas and Bama, or was it one game against? It was one game against Arkansas. The series win against Bama. So, look, that's an incredible career. I agree, though, it's time, for them to go in a different direction. And look, softball in the SEC might be actually the most difficult sport in terms of the level of competition in the conference. Now, with that said, it's also what makes this job, in my opinion, quite possibly the best job on campus in terms of a recipe for success. Houston softball in this state in general, be truly elite. The facilities now, unfortunately, Joe spent a lot of the back end of her career behind on facilities. That's the way it goes, but that is certainly something that played into, I think, them falling behind the pack in the Southeastern Conference, no question about it. So a new coach is going to come in, and that's already sitting there waiting and rectified. I think it's
it's a terrific job. I think they're going to have their pick. I'd be looking at my first call would be to somebody else that lost yesterday. And I would call Tallahassee and see if I could double dip Florida State after getting Jimbo. That's the first call I would make. It wouldn't surprise me if A&M's already made calls there at Florida. I believe he'll be a target, the Florida Gators head coach. So my point of saying all this is Texas A&M is going to go hire someone, David, I believe, that's either won a national title or is considered, a top 5 coach in the game. And I think they absolutely can do that, and I think they will do that. I think you'll see it happen in, I'd say, pretty short order. Florida State's done playing, but these other schools are going to, a couple of them whose coaches you're going to be looking at are going to be playing pretty well into they're going to be playing pretty well into maybe even to the World Series. So it might be a little bit deeper before this thing's over with.
By the way, we've seen. All right, Billy. Best part of Chicago. He just came
The
back from Chicago.
The food, always the food.
Yeah.
Wrigley was pretty nice too, but the food.
Food was great.
Yeah.
All right.
It was.
Comment, like, subscribe. Talk about Chicago or
Pizza,
A&M.
a lot of
I
pizza.
love me some pizza. Not that often, but I do love it.
You know what's a good food, Nuno?
What's
You
that?
don't know about?
What's that?
Flat pasta. It's just
Flat.
pasta squares. Just flat
Yeah.
squares, just kind of piled
You're a
on
big
each
fan?
other with plain sauce.
I'm a big fan of udon
Just telling you.
noodles. Udon noodles.
I don't hate udon.
Udon's good.
Who hates udon?
It's got a lot of fiber.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. Pasta's pasta, man. Don't try to pretend like it's something good.
Just comment.
I don't
like,
eat pasta, but I do eat udon. I do smash the like button
and comment
and subscribe
and share. Goodbye.
and share.